and a 3 and a 2 and a 1. How's it going, everybody? We're back again with everybody's favorite funny German. Oh, hang on. That's a bit of an oxymoron. Guess we're going to just have to make do with Henning Polly. How's it going, Henning?
Oh, you can't see that. I'm doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
Different cameras. But you knew where I was going, right?
Oh, pretty much something like that. You make some attempt at humor and it's going to fail miserably. But hey, we love you anyway. That's the thing. Don't come to Henning's channel for the humor. Just come for his vast musical knowledge because despite the goofy exterior, the man actually knows what the fuck he's doing.
Come on, I dress sexy for today. Sexylicious for you today.
Indeed, yes. Very,
all
very
80s,
very...
get it?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, that's a good point.
Or
right.
like a pimp. I mean, it could be 80s or a pimp.
Yes, okay. You are definitely cool enough to be a pimp there, dude. No question about that. Why the hell are we here, Henning? What's going on? Why am I spending my Sunday morning looking at you?
Money.
Okay, money. Okay.
I want money.
Oh, yeah, really important thing. We've got a cash giveaway at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around for that because, if I know musicians, you guys are super cheap. So, the fact we're actually giving away not just, a piece of gear or something like that, but actual money.
Yeah, we're skipping the whole Thomann sponsored, Sweetwater sponsored, we got an amp from somewhere, blah, blah. We're literally going into our pockets and giving you our, I was going to say hard-earned cash, but also, we did something for it, cash.
Yes, something to that effect. Okay, great. That works. So, yeah, the 80s thing. So this is what we're doing is we're pimping out because Henning's dressed like an 80s pimp. We're pimping out.
I am!
Henning's course. And this is Henning's 80s drum programming course that you did with Felix. What's Felix's last name?
Lehmann.
Yeah, who's Germany's #1 session drummer.
He's definitely one of the biggest session drummers in Germany. He's played for everyone and their mom. And he can play almost any style and their mom. He's utterly ridiculous. He's super fun. And so here's what happened when I told Glenn what styles we're doing. We're doing a classic rock, which is already out, and you should get it because it's freaking amazing.
It is.
And then 80s studio drummers. Not 80s drummers, 80s studio drummers, because in the 80s there was a big thing where bands hired studio drummers to play for them, and there literally was just a handful. And things changed in the 80s quite a bit in terms of tone, in terms of sound and all that stuff. And then Glenn's like, well, who are you talking about? And I'm like, Jeff Porcaro. And Glenn's like, who? And so every drummer at this point would stab him in the eye with a wooden cooking spoon because Jeff Porcaro is God. And then I said Toto, and Glenn was like, never liked it. So...
Not a Toto fan.
So, Glenn, a little bit of a fuck you to you?
That's okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I fucking hate Toto. Okay, there, I said it.
But the Porcaro shuffle is a drummer's wet dream. Getting that shuffle to flow, the interplay between the hi-hat and the ghost notes and where to place them. Rosanna, whether you like the song or not, it's a little bit, wishy-washy kind of adult contemporary stuff. I get it. It's not cool. It's not heavy.
Okay. I'm just for the record. My mom ran a hairstyling salon in our basement, and she had like an intercom with a radio on it, and she listened to the station, and they played, the boring adult contemporary bullshit. And I've heard Rosanna about 8 billion fucking times. So, yeah. You were talking about stabbing with drumsticks. I volunteer to have my eyes stabbed out next time somebody plays fucking Rosanna.
But that groove is literally the benchmark for a drummer. If you can play that.
Whoa, hold on. Would you say it takes you all the way?
Okay, that was good. Okay, I give you that. That was actually funny. Glenn did a funny. Wow. So it is insanely difficult to feel it and to play it. If you tell someone I can program that, they're going to say bullshit. Any drummer will call complete bullshit on it, because how do you as a non-drummer know where to place those ghost notes? So in a painstakingly detailed process, Felix is playing it. We're analyzing it. There's cameras, there's slow motion, there's all that stuff. And we're looking at especially the ghost notes. And you would think it's a shuffle where on the grid you can say, swing so and so much percent. It's a little bit more detailed and complicated than that. So we are really getting very, very, very close to an actual program performance of Rosanna. Actually, with the original snare, which we got there's a Superior drummer extension called Al Schmidt, and he actually did that Toto 4 album, and he actually has the Porcaro snare, which was sampled for that thing, and so we're actually using that snare.
Okay, that's fucking
doesn't
cool.
really sound like it, but it's technically that snare. But then we're going into the studio drummers.
Hold on. Before we go anywhere, do you have a clip of that? Can we see what you're talking about? Well, what makes this course so special? Can you roll us a clip of that Porcaro
but
shuffle?
Only
so we
a
can see what
really,
you're talking
really short one because I want people to send us money.
Okay, good tip. Roll the clip. Roll the clip, Alex.
Play us the groove, and then we will dissect it bit by bit.
All right, here we go.
That one's too heavy. And then du-du-du-du-du-dum.
And we're back. Okay, yeah. I will say this one thing about Henning. He's not funny, but damn, his attention to detail is rather outstanding. So good for you on that. I've been going through this course a little bit too. I'm learning a bunch of shit. Just watching Henning go back and forth with Felix, do the thing, come up with an idea. Felix will play and go, oh, let's see what's going on there. They deconstruct it and go, oh, this is what's going on here. This is what's going on here. That's really fucking cool.
Well, also, of course, we're talking about sounds. So,
yes.
Glenn, how would you describe the change from the late 60s, early 70s classic rock era to the 80s? What changed in sound? Because there's two very different points of view.
Okay. Well, in the 70s, especially in the early 70s, there was a big trend to get the drums as dry as possible, as little room sound as possible. Very, very closed off, very, very dark sounding. You can hear that kind of on the first few Priest records, actually, in the Gull days. They have these kind of like, almost boxy like drum sounds. And in the 80s, things opened up, and especially in metal anyway, things opened up. And again, the turning point there was Judas Priest's British Steel. They did that in Ringo Starr's Foyer, and because it had this big booming sound. And then people were like, ooh, what's that? And then, of course, the old Phil Collins, hey, we left the talkback mic on through the compressor, and like everyone's like, holy shit, that sounds great. And then you get the big toms on In the Air Tonight, and then everybody wanted that. And then they started gating the snares and having this massive gated reverb on the snares, the Bon Jovi records, that kind of shit.
So actually, the funny thing is that exactly the opposite of what Glenn just said applies to our course. Exactly the opposite. Because when Glenn said in the 70s they were going more tight and direct, that's probably later 70s, because in classic rock, you were limited with channels. You were limited with
that's true.
Like maybe 8 track, if you were lucky, maybe 16, but there wasn't a multi-tracking the drums, which means you had a kick drum mic, you had a snare drum mic, you might have had overheads, but that's probably it, because we're talking about 4 channels are already taken.
Well, that would have been the early Eagles records, with Glenn Johns doing his technique, or the Zeppelin records. The Zeppelin records had the big roomy sounds.
Yes, exactly. So in earlier classic rock, late 60s, early 70s, you were limited by the recording media, therefore drums sounded bigger. In the early 80s, you had 24 track, or maybe, even 48 later. But that means they could record drums completely individually, and that made it a lot more a process because you could process each kit piece, and a lot drier. So if you're listening to those AOR studio drummers, Porcaro, Steve Gadd especially, it is the driest, bone-dry sound you can have. And Glenn's right, later on, when we're talking about Phil Collins, and then, of course, Bon Jovi with Kenny Aronoff or Tico Torres, bigger. Obviously, in hard rock, we have the big snares. We have the big 2 and 4 snares with lots of reverb. But the reverb came from being able to process the individual kit pieces. So individual recording and then doing something to individual kit pieces, whether very dry or processed, is what changed in the 80s versus a real kit recording in the room.
Right.
And stylistically, obviously different when we're talking Priest, which we're not talking about in the course. That's a different style. So the studio drummers, that's pop, rock, AOR. So we're looking at, we already covered Porcaro.
Yeah. You mentioned Kenny Aronoff. Now, I was going through that part of the course. I found that part fascinating. I mean, Kenny Aronoff, his big claim to fame, everybody's heard that giant tom fill at the end of Jack and Diane by John Cougar Mellencamp. Doom, 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 dum, 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 dum. That's Kenny Aronoff, and that just sounds massive.
He's about making every note sound amazing. Like with full power, he beats the shit out of the drum kit, but not overplaying at all in any way.
Right.
And then you got the opposite. You got Stuart Copeland in a trio,
Right.
That's the Police, by the way.
Yes, and he did a lot of reggae type stuff.
Yeah, and that's just all about hi-hat stuff, and the stuff that I would have never come up with, the stuff that Felix shows us with a hi-hat. Let's roll a tiny little clip of that because that's utterly ridiculous.
Let it rip.
It's not right.
Yeah. Yeah, he plays traditional grip on the snare, and so his whole hand is taped all the time, and he really puts a lot of force in it. So
yeah, so you could see, I mean, that those hi-hat techniques I would have never come up with, but Felix showed it to me, and then I'm incorporating that into the programming. So there's obviously different. I mean, you can't say 80s is one style. We could also say drum programming of the 80s would all be Linn drum and 808 and electronic drums. That's of course not what we're doing. We're doing realistic drum programming, but we can see in the Phil Collins lesson where really not a lot is happening. We're doing In the Air Tonight. We're doing that super simple fill, but then we're doing the groove, and you can see that actually adding the 808 with those conga-y toms is what's adding the actual feel. So the combination in the 80s of the live kit with some very static drum computer kind of stuff is what made it work. Because if you have a super static drum computer, you can give it groove by playing around it. So we're looking at that. We've got Copeland. Steve Gadd is a lesson where I was like, I mean, it's a song, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. Steve Gadd did many things, but that's from Paul Simon. And it's kind of like a little marchy thing. And he's like doing a little bit here and then something there. And it, sound-wise, it is so incredibly difficult to nail what's on the album. And then you got the interesting thing, there's a little finger cymbal on the offbeats that he isn't playing, that also I couldn't get as a sample, but we did something similar. And as soon as that finger cymbal comes on the offbeats, there's the groove. If that's not there, it all falls apart because he's literally playing around it. So when you just hear his parts, like, What's going on there? And you got this bing, bing, bing. There's the groove. So
that was Jack slipping out the back.
Can't follow.
No, you said 50 ways to leave your lover. Just slip out the back, Jack. Get it? Huh? sorry.
But I'm not funny, right? But I'm not. Yes. I'm the not funny one.
I've been hanging out with Henning too long. His humor's starting to rub off.
So we got all this stuff, and there's the important thing to realize is whether you like Toto or not, or whether you like 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, you're a Paul Simon fan or not, or whether you like the Police or not. That's not the point. You want to learn about drum programming. We're showing you, in addition to the classic rock stuff and the main course, the Complete Guide to Drum Programming by me, we're showing you yet another set of skills from these 80s studio guys that will absolutely add something to your repertoire. If all that you learn from it for the ridiculous intro price of $79, that how to do the Rosanna shuffle for when you're doing your metal shuffle or your whatever thing, how to get that happening with the ghost notes. That's a skill worth 79 fucking bucks. That's what at least this is what I think, personally.
All you guys out there who are just, 127 the living shit out of your program drums. It's like, this teaches you how to program in just a little bit of subtlety and make things maybe just a little bit more human. So it doesn't sound like you've got R2-D2 playing the drums.
It's all about humanity. And in the very last lesson, again, just like in the classic rock course, I'm taking a track that Felix played. I produced a whole song in it called Warrior, with the vocals by the amazing Hannah Mail. And I'm programming every single hit that Felix did. Yet, he played everything ahead of the beat. Every single thing is quite pushed. It's a Kenny Aronoff kind of a part, and it's pretty difficult to program because I cannot place any hit on the actual grid. It's ridiculous. It's a difficult thing to program, which brings us to how you can make cash. Our cash. We don't want you to win this, okay? We don't. We want to keep our cash, but we're going to give it to you if you're worthy. Should I tell them how it works?
Yeah, tell them. Yeah, why not? Okay, maybe you should make them squirm a little bit more. Nah, go ahead, tell.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the backing track for that song Warrior. I'm going to give you the full mix. I'll be nice. I'll give you the full mix with Felix playing, and then I'm going to give you the full mix without the drums. Easy, right? I'll even give you the video of Felix playing it. And then you go and program the full song. You program the full performance. Now, you can cheat a little bit by buying the course and watching me do it. So let's mute the real drums again, because now the snare laid back will work. I have a feeling that there's probably also the ghost note right here. See where we're going with this? Marketing! So you can learn from the course. You can literally watch our Kenny Aronoff lesson. You can watch me do the whole thing. That's going to give you a clear advantage, but you have to buy the course. See what I'm doing? But you don't have to. It's not necessary. So there's a link below to a Dropbox folder where you can get all the data that you need. And then you send your video, because you're going to put your mix, so you get my backing track, your drums, and put that on the video. And you send that video with a drop. Glenn doesn't have to participate. It's okay, it's fine. He doesn't have to know. He just has to pay. So you're going to send that video to 888 Drums.
No, not 888. Yeah, 888 Drums. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
I'm on it.
Sorry. I just woke up.
888drums@henningparty.com. And you're going to send me, listen people, because you always get that shit wrong. You're going to send me Dropbox or WeTransfer, or at the absolute maximum, a Google Drive link that I can reach, not that's locked.
Yeah, that's really important. I get that on Monday Mix Reviews. When you send a Google Drive link, you want to make sure the person you're sending it to can actually access the files. Yeah, it's kind of just helps things move along a whole lot.
Those three things are accepted. Not I have my own server and all that shit, and then I have to write you 7 emails about it not working. a Google Drive, Dropbox, or WeTransfer, whatever you like. And you
Anything else will be ignored.
Yes. And you sent me the video, and I will look at everything, but, and this is extremely important, I also need your MIDI file as proof that you've programmed it, and a screenshot of that programming, whether it's in Key Editor or Drum Editor or whatever, because you could just buy the course and take my version, okay? That's not gonna fly. I need proof that you actually did it yourself. And then we pick one winner.
One winner.
One winner. We take one winner. There is no second one. There is no third one. We're gonna take one winner. The best. The very best winner. And I'm gonna PayPal him $888. That's how it works. It's literal cash. Do whatever you want with it. Hopefully buy more courses from me. That makes sense. Get it? So get the stuff, program the drums, send it, WeTransfer, Dropbox, or Google Drive, screenshots and MIDI file as proof that you've done it, $888. I mean, what's not to love about that? That's cash, right?
Right, exactly. So, okay, yeah, now we wrote all this down. Okay, just so there's no confusion here. All right, so the actual 80s course, what's it called? What's the actual title here?
Programming in the style of 80s studio drummers.
Okay, great. That's not
80s,
so catchy.
Or 80s studio drummers, or, the 80s people.
All right, so the 80s course. So we're going to be running a limited time introductory sale on it from the 12th, that's today, up until end of day on May 22nd. So you've got basically 10 days to get this on a discount. So just want to make sure I got this down right. So I wrote it all down. Okay. So normal price on this would be $97, but we're going to have an intro price for $79. So you can save yourself a few bucks there. If you already have the main course, Complete Guide to Programming Drums, and you want both add-ons, we're going to have that. They both would normally go for $97. You can get them both for only $135 for the next 10 days. That's cool. And if you want to get all three drum programming courses, we've got that for a limited time sale for $229 as well. And that's going to be on for the next 10 days. Everything goes back up to normal prices after that. So if you want to get in on this, you want to learn how to program some subtlety into your drums, you're sick and tired of hearing a fucking robot playing your drums, now's the time to get in on this. And anything you want to add there, Henning?
What you're saying pretty much is that for 10 days, I make less money.
Yes.
So that your viewers can get a better deal.
Exactly.
What's in it for me? I make less money.
Yes, exactly. That's fun for all.
Do I have a choice in this?
No, not at all.
So we can't just sell it for the regular price right from the start, right?
No. Special intro price for a very limited time. So if you're into program drums, if you like Henning's other courses, grab this one. We're more than happy to offer it. And if you haven't got it, I definitely recommend checking out the Complete Guide to Programming Drums. Get it as a bundle because you're going to save some serious cash.
And apparently I heard that we're adding the 80s drummer thing to the complete bundle, which already has 1, 2, 3, 4 courses in it.
Right, exactly. That's going for $297. So yeah, that's all three drum programming courses plus 2 guitar ones, the blues course. And what's your other guitar one in there?
The pedal tone licks.
Oh, right. Yeah, we did that as well.
But Glenn, it was $297 before.
Yes, I know. We're just throwing it in because we're nice.
So we're adding a whole new course to it, and it's the same price.
Yes. So if you absolutely positively can't get enough Henning, get the complete bundle because it's a hell of a deal at this point.
Are there other companies I can sell my courses with that will give me a better deal?
Probably not.
Shit. Fine. Fine then.
All right, everybody. So you can get links to everything in the description below. If you're into programming drums at home, which I know most of you guys are doing, this is definitely one of the courses you want to take a look at, or the bundle as well. It's a serious deep dive into the whole methodology of programming drums and not making it sound like a robot. And from a lot of the Monday Mix reviews you guys are sending in, it's probably a few of you guys could stand to take this course. Probably wouldn't hurt. Let's put it that way.
And so what I can report is that most people that got the classic rock course said whatever add-ons are going to come out, no matter the style, they're going to get it because they learned so much from the classic rock course. So they said it doesn't matter what the style is. They're going to get their hands on it because they want more. So we have more.
Fantastic. All right. Well, links to everything's in the description below. Henning, thanks so much for coming on the show. And once again, guys, that's going to be on sale for a very, very limited time. So grab it now. Grab it while you can. And until next time, get out there and make some metal, you amazing motherfuckers.
Or maybe some, nice adult-oriented 80s rock. Just saying.
Yeah.
Stay on topic.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.